Hello, everyone. Welcome to the newest episode of the Why Not Us podcast. My name is Mike. I am joined here by Mike. And Mike, wanted to start off today with why not the Tungsten Nanoneedle?
Mike, what what is the Tungsten Nanoneedle?
I'm really glad you asked. The tungsten nanoneedle is the sharpest human-made object in the world. It was created by placing a tungsten wire in a nitrogen atmosphere and exposing it to an electrical field in an ion microscope. It is only 1 atom wide, and it is the sharpest thing a man has ever made. Funny enough, the past few days, I've been getting confused with the tungsten nanoneedle because I am so fucking sharp.
Dun, 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 dun. That was good, Mike. That was a great intro. You nailed that, and well deserved. Because I even texted you. I was like, "You've seen the board very well lately." It's you kind of just know when. So the thing that impressed me about this game, and the game I'm referencing, is the Rams just beat the Vikings on Thursday Night Football. You had been really just taking the better team. It doesn't necessarily mean record, but Vikings have looked like a good football team, and you completely flipped. And you were like, this is when it changes. Public's going to start losing. Public was heavy on Vikings, and so you look extra impressive because of that.
Thank you. You know, I called this one out when I was really high at 2 a.m. last night after a long day of work.
You did.
And I saw it. I may have watched the whole game last night. Like, maybe that's how I knew. Lions hangover, Rams are due, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua back. Didn't even know Puka was coming back.
I mean, and he looked amazing. He looked like he was completely healthy.
They said he's limited my ass.
He's genetically just insane. But anyways.
Yeah, I was all over it. I was all over the Rams. I was spot on. And it was
so
awesome.
Much to the point that I don't know if you've ever done this, you convinced me to flip on the Rams with you because I kind of wanted to keep the trend going, heat check per se, and just keep betting the team that, seemed better, which was the Vikings in this game. But then you were like, you know what? You're right. This is a bet that I would take like the past 2 weeks and get rocked on, but like maybe this is our week and it could be our week again. I kind of want to, bring this gut feeling into the rest of the slate, and we'll get to it for sure.
Yeah, I think you realize that like iron sharpens iron, and not sure if you're iron, but I'm fucking tungsten nanoneedle, and I sharpened the shit out of you, and you needed that.
I'm fired up. Let's go. I mean, I'm not supposed to be fired up, but we look sharp as heck. We look smart. And there's good vibes this episode. Some cool things in store. We're excited for it. This week, though, I've been down bad. I was at a work conference, and I've been very sick. So I don't know if you can tell in my hoarse voice. Probably can. But here we are.
We're here. I'm glad you made it, Well, we could call this the Michael Jaws flu episode.
Oh, I like it. I mean, I did just come off one of my best performances for the pod. My work conference. I'm referencing the pod. It's my career. I was presenting for a large crowd and marketing. That's our phase 2. It's our Series B funding per se. So here we are. We Series B funding enough to the point where we were able to make an employee hire. And it comes at the time of when we are going to introduce a new league to the Why Not Us podcast. It is the NBA. The season has started. And I'd like to welcome onto the show for the very first time our NBA insider, Mr. Sean Andros. Sean,
hey guys.
Welcome.
Hey guys. Thank you for the warm welcome, Jaws. It's been a dream of mine for a long time, for about a month since the pod's been alive. It's been a dream of mine to be a guest. And, following up Matthew Jenkins, it's a pretty easy thing to follow up, but excited to be here.
We're glad to have you, Sean.
Oh, we're excited to see what you bring to the pod as our NBA insider, and in conjunction to Matthew Jenkins' recent performance. We have some more friends coming on the pod as well. But Sean, we do want you to actually give some NFL picks with us today, and maybe you point out which one of us is smarter from the mics. But you're our NBA guy, so I'd like for you to come out swinging. Give me some NBA stuff. The season started, and your fandom. Give it to me all.
I mean, we'll just start right off with the first game of the year. Probably one of my favorite games I've ever watched, to be completely honest with you. The Knicks really went all out this offseason. They traded away their future, some would say, for a great piece. And he looks like a great piece. The Knicks really do look like they made that next step. They're really ready to compete with the Celtics in the East. They are the number 2, maybe even 1B to the Celtics 1A in the East. They didn't have Kristaps, but they really, really put up a good effort. And I want to give a hand for the Knicks. The Knicks looked really good.
The Knicks lost by 20. If anyone was curious, the Knicks lost by 20 to the Celtics in the first game.
Yeah, so if you didn't know, I am a Celtics fan, Celtics Heat fan. It's a whole thing. We'll get into that later.
Whoa. You shouldn't have revealed that part.
We'll get into that later.
Just feed the Celtics guy. Now everyone's gonna hate you.
I think that's gonna happen naturally, regardless. But the Knicks looked really, really good. They really put up a fight against the Celtics' second team in the last 8 minutes of the game.
Before I comment on which was a poor Knicks performance, before we get into that, I just want to say what really sealed the deal for me as you becoming our NBA insider was all of those years of you being the Theta Chi president, getting you the 11th seat on the Theta Chi basketball team bench. And, I could really see it out there. You used to get like one garbage time 3 per game when the game was over. And ever since then, I knew when I started a podcast, you were going to be the insider.
Hey, man, big players make big plays in crunch time. And when I was called upon, I stepped up to the plate, It's all we can really ask for.
You liked playing backyard hoops. It wasn't like you just wanted to be there. You had a love for the game.
Hey, man, I've got passion. You'll see. I've got passion.
What do you do for a living, Sean?
I'm in the glamorous world of accounting. It's really, really, really awesome. Super happy.
Who's your client?
It is MSG.
Is it still MSG with the new job too?
No, it's not. Okay. It's not.
Okay.
So you hated the Knicks so much that you left your job to get a new job? Is that why?
Yeah, I mean they're really performing way better since I left, so it's clearly been a lift for them.
The thing I wanted to talk about with the Knicks is I texted you, Mike. Mikal Bridges has just lost his shot. Just changed it. You only see players do this so much. The one I can remember is Markelle Fultz on the Sixers, which Sean, being a Celtics fan, the Jason Tatum. Yeah. So, Mike, care to comment on why the Knicks just traded their entire future for a guy that can't shoot?
I think it's a little harsh to be judging the guy after 48 minutes of basketball.
That's what I said. This is part of the cycle, dude. Just get out now. He's done. You don't just get a shot back.
No, see, the Sixers are just a bad franchise. They're they lose. They're losers. Don't trust the process. They suck. The Knicks, we're also losers, but we're building a different culture right now. And that culture is just signing people from Villanova.
Is so stupid. And then trading one of them.
We didn't want him. Get rid of him. He's garbage. He can't shoot either.
Dude, I don't know.
I miss Dante DiVincenzo. Cat is awesome. Mikal Bridges, I'm not worried. You realize that you're the third guy and you don't need to be the guy anymore. He shot 7 for 13. 2 for 7 from 3 isn't great, but it's one game. Get over it.
No,
I don't know. I can't wait for Mikal to end up losing his games played streak because he just gets played 85 minutes a game. It's going to be unstoppable force meets immovable object with him just playing all the time and wanting to play and just getting forced in the game.
That was ultimately the reason that Tom Thibodeau had to go get that guy. He's like, we have guys and we're going to overplay the shit out of him. Let's find the guy that's okay being overplayed, and he'll still probably get hurt.
Sean, a lot of people were talking about how, Adrian Wojnarowski out of a job now. Who's the replacement? I know Shams is going to ESPN, but some people, not us, because, we hate you, but some people were saying that you were going to be the replacement for Adrian Wojnarowski. And even more people were saying that you actually broke the news of the cat trade to the Knicks. You were just working that day, so you couldn't get to your Twitter in time.
I'm legally obligated to say no comment. The NDAs are currently in process, so we'll comment at a further point in time.
Very, very professional. Very professional.
There might be some burners.
My question about the trade is it a lose-lose? Because the Timberwolves, the thing that's weird is they extended Rudy Gobert. It's like, are we sure that was like the move? Like, did you have to do that? So,
I mean, I think you're an idiot for extending Rudy Gobert. Guy can't show up in the playoffs. Like, I don't know how you decide to get rid of Cat out of those two. I do like the Wolves picking up Dante. He's a great piece. Like, you saw it in the playoffs last year. He was putting up 25, 8 every game, like giving solid minutes, hitting clutch shots. So I like Dante as a piece. I think he fits in really well with that core of Mike Conley is still slept on, even though he's father time. He's old as dirt. He's still extremely solid, puts in great minutes. Anthony Edwards is going to continue to improve. He's a stud. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But Rudy Gobert is the one piece there that doesn't make sense. Like, you have Naz Reid taking the next step.
Dude,
he
Naz
balled
Reid
out.
is something.
Like, you got to be a Naz Reid. You have to be a Naz Reid guy. And to pick up Dante is a good move, but to keep Rudy, what are you thinking there? What's the thought process behind there?
Let's also not forget that they picked up Julius Randle, who is a cancer. I mean, he's a talented basketball player, but he's a guy that plays like a number one, but he's not good enough to be a number one. And I said for as long as he'd be on the Knicks, we could never win a championship. So, not saying we will, but we now can because he's not on the team. And now he will go curse the Timberwolves with years of being decent and then not showing up in the playoffs.
New York fans, dude. You New York fans. Like, it's Saquon going to the Eagles, and you're like, fuck that guy. Julius Randle was on the Knicks for like 7 years, and he gave you some of your best teams in like a decade. And you're like, fuck that guy. He got traded. Okay?
I'm
Amari
not
Cooper
saying fuck that
goes
guy.
to the Browns. You're like, fuck Amari Cooper. Like, dude, come on.
I love Julius Randle until it gets to the postseason.
Yeah, so he's like
he
a Ben
needs the ball
Simmons.
in his hands. He has to shoot shots, and he doesn't play great defense. And in the playoffs, he's not good enough to be a number one player on
Okay,
a
that's
team.
fair. That's fair. I thought you were just saying in general.
I'm so happy, Jersey. I thought you were about to make excuses for Julius Randle's bum ass. He is trash. He's always been trash. Since the Lakers days, he's been so overrated. I thought you were about to be, I wish him the best. He's a good piece. He's garbage.
Yeah.
He's hot. The Saquon thing is totally different. Saquon balled out. He's a dog. He didn't get paid enough money. Julius Randle has let the Knicks down year after year. Year after year. He did not deserve the contract that he got.
One.
He's a bum.
That's for sure. I don't even know if he's a number two.
No,
but he's not on that team. Right? It's
but you know who is still on the Knicks, and now with Dante gone, there's an open spot to be filled. Some are saying Jalen Brunson's spot is not safe because of Deuce McBride, who just continues to excel. I mean, you gotta love the little man out there just going out and balling. He got 26 minutes, 8 for 10, 4 for 5 from 3, 22 points. Who is this guy?
Oh my! It's one game. It's 22 points in the NBA.
He stepped up in the playoffs too.
I'm pretty sure. Who was the Florida Gators starting point guard? That was like Ryan McInnes loved him. Trey Mann. Remember Trey Mann? Yeah, that guy had 30 one game. Okay, so don't come on and take up a precious 30 seconds of our podcast to talk to me about Deuce McBride.
All right, fine.
No, Deuce McBride is going to be how the Knicks take the next step. It's not me, Kyle. It's Deuce McBride that's going to get past the Celtics and win
go.
the Lakers, win the Knicks a ship.
Let's fucking go.
Is Deuce
That's
McBride.
sick.
Deuce McBride, 6th man of the year. Get that bet in now.
I actually like that. I'm in. Let's all ride that. The other NBA thing I wanted to talk about is, I guess we just have to talk about LeBron and Brawny. Just overall sentiment. I'd love to get it. It seems like you can have a lot of opinions on everything.
I'll let you take this one first, Jersey.
It's cool and it's historical. And I mean, I turned my phone on to watch it. Like, I wanted to see that because it's incredible. I mean, only the second time ever, aside from Griffey Jr. and Griffey Sr., first time in the NBA. The only problem I have with it is Brawny sucks at basketball. And he doesn't deserve to be on the Lakers. He may not even deserve to be in the G League. I don't even know if he deserves to be in Division I college basketball. Like, he did nothing at USC. He did nothing in the preseason. He did nothing in the summer league. He didn't deserve to make that roster. I think JJ Redick made the right move by getting him in the game to get this over with. That way this doesn't start to build and it's like, when's it going to happen? And it is cool and historical and it will go down forever. But he didn't deserve to be on that court.
Agree and disagree. Very cool moment. I mean, if you look at it from an outside perspective, it is a photo shoot for LeBron. Like 100%. It's a stunt. But it was pretty cool. But also the expectations that are being put on Brawny. He's the 55th overall pick in the draft. He wasn't a first rounder. He's not expected to come in and save the Lakers. He's expected to come in, put in a couple good defensive plays a game and not fuck it up. Like, he's not expected to come out and put 15. They drafted Connect for that, and he's been balling. But like, Brawny's not going to save the Lakers. That's not what he's there for.
No,
he's there to have James Jr. on the back and keep LeBron engaged when he has his loafing off on defense that he always does later in the season when he gets tired. Like, now he has Brawny there to be like, "Hey, Dad, you're being lazy." I think it's a smart move by the Lakers.
It's gonna bring in PR, which the Lakers love. LeBron loves. It's crazy, right? Like, this is nuts. I never thought we'd see this in any sport, so that can't get lost. But yeah, I think you're both right. It's he probably won't see the floor again for 3 more years, and if he's earned it by then, great. But
I mean, I think I'd equate the pickup to the Knicks getting Mikal. It's like, it's not really going to do a lot to put them over the top.
Exactly.
Like, it looks good on paper. It's very pretty. The press likes it, but is it really going to get them over the Nuggets and the Mavs in the West? No. And is Mikal going to get them over the Celtics in the East? Probably
no, but they
not.
did look good. They looked good. I my next question is, what else does LeBron have to prove? This was it almost. I mean, he's obviously on a good team that can compete. Who knows how much that really means? But I think the thing I just want us to just take a second to realize is it's almost over. It's LeBron James. And I don't think people are talking about that enough. Like, it's LeBron. It's going to be a sad day when that guy retires.
Yeah, and I think the next few years are critical because the only thing that he really hasn't beaten Jordan in is rings. And he's too short. So, like, if he goes this year without getting a ring,
I think that's over. I think
like 2 rings. I don't think he's got 2 more rings in him.
I think this is my take. I think the Brawny thing, I think the points record, I think him even just playing this long, he's like just trying to rack up anything else he can get for the GOAT conversation, because the one thing he won't have is the finals, right? That's it.
I mean, to answer your question of what else he has to prove, I think winning another championship, so his last one isn't like the Mickey Mouse argument is way too prevalent. And as much as I do believe the bubble was pure hoops, and you'll hear the players talk about it, like it's pure hoops.
Pure hoops.
But he has to win another one, in my opinion. I still like LeBron in his days in the Heat. Like he brought Heat basketball to another level. The Big Three in South Beach was electric. Like it was one of my most fun times as a kid from Southern Florida. But like the Mickey Mouse argument is anytime someone says anything, it's the first thing that's brought up is, oh, it's a Mickey Mouse ring. Oh, it's a Mickey Mouse ring. And regardless of whether or not it was pure hoops, it was still different than what we're used to, what everyone else has won doing.
This leads to a good question that I just want to, this is we're going to talk NBA on the pod. It'll be regular, especially when football's done. So let's just get our big takes out there. Who is your GOAT? All right. Jersey, I want to start with you.
Chris Gomez, one of my best buddies, is not the GOAT. He's not the GOAT. This is where this story's going.
Okay, I know where it's going.
Big LeBron guy. Yes. Maybe the biggest LeBron guy that I'm like very good friends with. And I was always a Jordan guy. So meeting him and becoming friends with him and living with him pushed me towards Jordan even more. Ultimately, I'm going to sound super old school and everyone can hit me with all the other claims of whatever. There's a lot of excuses. I'm going Jordan. I'm going based off the championships and the winning. I think you play the game to win, and he won more. So that's ultimately the statement that I'll die on. And a lot of people won't like that. But it is so close, and you could go back and forth. You could look at any stat and it would change your mind. Ultimately, I have to stand somewhere, and I stand with Jordan and with the championships.
I mean, the championship argument is just, it's a weak one. He doesn't even have, Bill Russell has 11 rings, dude.
Everyone says Bill Russell. Yeah, I knew that was
team
coming.
Sport, there's so many different, it's so broad.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but it's also, I mean, we're going to have this argument again in 25 years when there's some other freak athlete.
Yep.
And as much as people are like, oh, he played against the Plumbers. We've seen it in the last 10 years. The quality of athlete and the quality of professional in sports as a whole has taken off.
Basketball especially. There's freaks on
watching
the floor.
Basketball, every team is loaded.
Yeah.
Loaded. There's freak athletes on every team that we couldn't even hold a candle to. It would be embarrassing to be near them on the court.
And he was still the captain of USA basketball.
And he's been doing it for 20 years. The longevity argument is there. He's played against freak athletes, and the players he doesn't strike fear into their hearts. No one wants to play against LeBron.
And you brought up a cool point too, Sean, when you were talking about the Heat, and you were growing up. You're a few years older than me and Mike, clearly. I'm sorry. We both give shit to Sean.
There it is.
Mine comes from a soft, tender heart. He's my big brother in the fraternity. One of my best friends. Mike can be a little bit more direct. Anyways, I felt the same way you did about the 2016 Brawny. I mean, that was my favorite year of basketball ever, and that's the cool thing about LeBron is he has these different phases of dominance in different ways. And, Jordan, it's really two. It's, before baseball, after baseball.
I mean, I got the argument of, oh, he never had that moment. But then when he did 3-1, that was so cool.
Someone brought up a cool thing, too, this week that I completely forgot, the Spurs. They went 40-1 that year, right? The Thunder should have been in the finals. The Warriors obviously had the record. That was just a great year of basketball. And then to end like that with LeBron, I mean, it was just incredible.
I was bitter about LeBron leaving. I was not happy. Obviously, he was so cool on the Heat. That Heat team was so fun to watch. That was probably, in my opinion, peak LeBron. Unstoppable on the basketball court. Just a physical. He was 6'8", 230, running a 4.4 and a 45-inch vertical. He's nuts.
Yep.
And as a it was still fun to watch him in that finals. 3-1. To come back from that against the best team ever is like that seals the argument for me personally.
Mike, did we convince you?
I just like, I'm not a guy that'll just like flip my opinions like that. I do like respect LeBron.
Yeah.
I don't like him, but I respect the greatness that is LeBron. I mean, it's similar to Tom
You
Brady.
have to. Yeah.
In that way.
Yeah.
Where I don't like him, but I respect what he's done. I agree that he also just like, he made it look fun. Like those Heat teams, like it seemed like every year they were coming out like around 500 the first 20 games of the year because they were just like fucking around and figuring out what was working and what wasn't. And then they just like got to the playoffs and steamrolled teams. I mean, he made it look so easy and so fun. And
LeBron makes it always look easy. I mean, he's so fun to watch. And there's a lot of people that have hated him over the years, and I've always just loved him. It's hard to not respect the greatness of him.
Yeah, I used to always go back and forth between like, it's interesting you guys brought up the athlete debate. Like LeBron is clearly a better athlete than Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
If you go back 20 years to when LeBron entered the league, Michael Jordan was a more talented basketball player. But now the league has transformed to where athleticism plays a huge part in being a basketball player versus just being an athlete that couldn't shoot or didn't have the techniques wasn't as effective in Jordan's day. So, yeah, I think that argument on my end is also weakened a little bit. Like this whole, like, the thing I hate from LeBron fans is like, well, one-on-one, LeBron beats Jordan. I'm like, yeah, no shit. Like, you could take a fucking receiver and he's going to catch a touchdown over a fucking offensive lineman, but that doesn't mean that Trent Williams isn't as good as Nelson Aguilar. Like,
nice. Shout out to
that was a wild. You got off the rails on that one, my guy. Holy shit.
It made sense.
I mean, I can't disagree with you, but
no, sure.
Like, I mean,
so yeah, you guys haven't convinced me, but right. I mean, I hear the arguments. I've heard the arguments. I acknowledge the arguments.
That's the thing about this GOAT conversation. That's the thing about any GOAT conversation. Like, it's just hard to weigh the scale. What is the scale? I think the best scale is the longevity, right? It's not the finals rings, given that, you have Scottie Pippen. It's different league, different talent, right? What you can weigh is, obviously the points record, but these different layers of dominance. That's why he'll always be my guy. And obviously I'm a little biased because we grew up with him. The thing I hate about the Jordan love is that it's all these fucking annoying dads that just like refuse to even like acknowledge LeBron. I'm like, dude, do you not watch? Because they don't even watch basketball. Like they don't fucking care. They just have opinions.
They're the same people that like yell at the football team for not running the ball down the middle on every play.
That's so going to be Jersey in 25 years. He's going to be arguing. There's going to be a new GOAT. He's not even going to be – it's going to be you and me, Jaws, arguing for LeBron, like the younger – and then Mike's just in the back. Oh, in my day, it was Jordan. It's like, didn't you grow up when LeBron was a thing? Yeah, but Jordan's still the GOAT.
Are you saying that because when we're all 40, Mike's going to look 55?
Yes.
No, not with this Cowboys challenge though. He's gonna look like a fucking
the
champ.
10. I'll give it to you, Mike. When I saw the 10 mile thing come up, I was very impressed. It was the pace wasn't even awful. Like
I didn't know that I had that in me. I'll go into a little more detail later. But I just had one more question for you to wrap up the NBA stuff. Biggest threats to the Celtics going into the season, who are you most afraid of, or is it just easy rolling?
I mean, don't give him that option.
I'll parlay this into my actual, like, I definitely wanted to make a finals prediction.
Yeah,
and it'll be my biggest threat. I think the finals will be Thunder Celtics in 6. The Thunder honestly scare the shit out of me.
Yeah,
if they put it together, if Chet plays up to his potential. Like they added Hartenstein. Hartenstein is a great piece for them. Like Jalen Williams, Shea is obviously sick. Like he's nasty.
And Chet's just gonna keep going.
The Thunder, I'll be honest, scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, that's
I would really like the Thunder to lose in the Western Conference again and not have to like. Even last year, I think the Thunder would have scared me more in the finals than the Mavs
than the
did.
Nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I agree with the Jamal Murray decline. Popular opinion. I think.
Me too.
Like he had to put it together. They won their championship,
Russ,
and he was nuts, dude. Russ is older than me, bro. Russ makes me look young. Like, come on.
I just like Russ on the Nuggets. I don't know why. I
love Russ, but I think the Thunder scare me a lot.
Okay.
I think it should be the Suns, but I know.
Stop talking about the West. What team in the East? Like, I know you're a Celtics fan, and I know you guys are loaded. And I'll already tell you right now, I have to make my Eastern Conference pick the Celtics, just knowing that's
I want to say the Sixers. I know you want me to say the Sixers.
I don't know. You tell me. Like, who
Embiid is such a bitch, man.
What if this is a turning
point? How are you getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars? You won't play a back-to-back, dude. I have to go to work tomorrow.
Dude, like, what do you like? Because he's an incredible. His peak is incredible. You bet on the peak. It's just he's gonna peak
he's gonna peak at game 64 when he drops 70 against like
that's why he's not playing
the Jazz or something.
What would you rather have?
He refuses to play Jokic.
He's so soft.
Is your pick the Sixers?
No. It's the Bucks.
So it's the
Bucks. It's still the Bucks.
That's fair. I feel like
Giannis is still a marvel.
I'd take Embiid over Giannis.
Yeah, but I think the Bucks got worse.
I mean, I don't know. I have to think that Dame puts it together. He is a free, like Dame time is a real thing. He put those Portland teams on his back for so many years. I have to think he can, after a year and getting to know the team, Middleton's still there. He's still really good. I think Bobby Portis I think everyone loves Bobby Portis. It's like when he looks around, he's just like,
if you're not
holy
on
shit,
camera, Sean's making the Bobby Portis.
Like, yeah, dude, he looks insane. And he balls out. And he like Bobby Portis in the corner. Come on. So I think it's the Bucks.
That's my question. Is like, how many more years of Bobby Portis, Brooke Lopez, and Chris Middleton being productive are we still gonna get?
Dude, Brooke Lopez had 6 blocks last night.
It's ridiculous.
Brooke Lopez is the modern Al Horford. I love Bobby Portis too.
Come on, you gotta love Bobby Portis.
Like, who doesn't like Bobby Portis? I don't trust you if you don't. Like, you're just a hater. He's great.
All right, let's hear your finals predictions.
Like I said, I have to go Celtics. And guess what? Paul George is like already injured. Embiid's not playing. I think Tyrese is banged up. But I do think if there was a year for the Sixers to make it a turning point, it'd be this year. Embiid played USA basketball. They clearly have a plan to keep him healthy in the playoffs. If that plan will work, I don't know. But I have to assume as a fan that Embiid will be healthy, and they have a great starting rotation. They have much more depth now than the Knicks. They don't have the starting 5 the Celtics do. I'd put their starting 5 against the Knicks and the Bucks and whoever else in the East you want to say. So I'm optimistic as a fan this year. Definitely against the Knicks, not against the Celtics. But if they make the Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics, I'm a happy man. So, in my West pick is you brought up some great points about the Thunder there. And the Jamal Murray thing's a big deal, or else I'd say Nuggets. And I guess, like, who are you? Timberwolves don't look as good. I mean,
the Wolves are there. The Suns are there.
Mavericks. I actually think that's where I was going to go. I think I'm going to go Suns. And it's because, like, you see this too in not just NBA, but, like, NFL, when you get, like, a new, big 3 or your guys for the franchise. It takes, like, a year, half a year. So I think they're going to get full stride this year, and it's going to be a hard team to beat. So Suns, Celtics.
I've got something similar, and I do like the Suns. I like that prediction. Ultimately, if like a gun to my head, Celtics make the finals again. I do think that the Knicks, aside from Tom Thibodeau running his players into the ground, make it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Not saying they would have beaten the Celtics, but like we got better from last year, and we should have been in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. So I'm going to put us back there again this year. Would be cool to beat the Celtics. I, unlike Jaws, am not just happy to make it. I will still be upset if we lose because I'm not a loser like the Sixers.
Shut the fuck up.
But ultimately, I'll stick with the Celtics. In the West, I kind of like the Nuggets in a bounce back year. Yeah. My sleeper pick though, like once again, gun to my head, wouldn't put money on this team or anything. Maybe I'll sprinkle a little bit of money on them.
Can I guess? Can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it the Grizzlies?
No, I like the Pelicans.
Oh, frisky.
The Pelicans were starting to figure it out last year. They have a sneaky home court advantage. And with DeJounte Murray, Zion is saying this is the first true point guard he's ever played with in his career.
Yeah, that is, and I have to be honest, I realized he was on the Pelicans yesterday. Our NBA insider knew though, right, Sean?
He fractured his hand yesterday.
It's a long season, Sean.
He did do that.
He fractured his hand game 1.
Hands heal fast.
And that's
It's funny that you brought up a point about a player that's going to be out for like 2 months.
He's literally like super hurt.
Okay, I didn't.
You ever tried to play basketball with a broken hand?
Which hand is it?
It doesn't matter, dude. Like, what is he gonna put? He's gonna put a cast. He's gonna put a cast on and dribble out there.
It's like playing soccer with a broken toe.
So who's your pick? Not your dark horse.
Fine, I'll go Nuggets.
All right.
One of us had to pick the Nuggets.
So Suns, Thunder, and Nuggets and Celtics, which is,
I mean, it's gonna be the Celtics, but
unless it's not, which would be awesome because that means it's a failure.
I have one final point on the Thunder, which is also why they're the scariest team for me moving forward. You guys know they could get Cooper Flag.
Well, that's the thing. They could make more moves. Like they
have the Clippers unprotected first, and the Clippers suck.
I mean,
like they could add. The wall, though. They could add. They do have the wall. The Intuit Dome looked really cool.
Yeah, that's
they made
also
KD
one thing.
And Devin Booker miss a free throw.
The video of Steve Ballmer leading them on the wall was pretty electric.
I want to be a Clippers fan just because of it.
Steve Ballmer lives a pretty sick life.
Yeah. And you gotta love him, right? Like what other owner is doing that? You could be the worst owner in the world. If you do that, you're like, all right, well he's clearly trying his best. It's not like he's not. He's like me,
But if they suck and the Thunder get Flag, that's game over for the NBA.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Like if they add Flag to Shai and Chet,
that would be
young core.
That would, like, if any of us had like kids in the next 5 years, which I doubt will fucking happen, just like 1 in 100,000 odds. But like they would probably be Thunder fans if they were bandwagon pussies like Mike, because they're going to be loaded for the next 10, 15 years, especially if that happens.
Interesting that I got called out for being a bandwagon, where we have a buddy from South Florida who sunnedly was a Heat fan for 5 years when they had LeBron, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh.
Yeah, this is a good point.
We can go back. I can have my mom send pictures of me as a child in my Heat and Celtics jerseys. I can pull out the archives if you want.
That's just so.
At least I'm not a Cowboys Yankees fan.
I was born into that too, so I got the same damn argument as you.
I was born into one city, made it simple.
God, that
not
sucks.
Hard, guys.
God,
and you grew up in another city.
Imagine being born into a Philly sports fandom. Holy shit!
You're not from Dallas. I don't give a fuck. That would be awful. Dude. Nobody's from Dallas that's a Cowboys fan. This goes a million different fucking ways.
Yeah, you guys, I mean, Philly's just sad, though. You guys have cheesesteaks, losing franchises, and people missing teeth.
It's a family, dude. You don't get it.
It's a family.
All right, speaking of Philly, so that was our basketball. That was fun. I look forward to talking more. But Sean, I want you to take a different role in the show now. I want you to be our judge for the state of the NFC East address. 2 games, both big games for the Eagles and Cowboys coming up. Eagles, 1 p.m. game in Cincinnati, have the Bengals, which, both good game, right? I know the Bengals losing record, but putting it together, so are the Eagles. And then the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football are traveling to San Francisco to play the Niners. I think both teams are underdogs. I believe the Niners are 4.5-point favorites. The Bengals 2.5-point favorites. The question for the juror and for the debate table is, which team is more likely to win? And Michael, since you are the underdog, the losing team, clearly, you may start.
All right. Well, first of all, I'd like to start out by saying, if the Cowboys win and the Eagles lose, we have the same record, and you can fuck off. And that is totally possible.
For a week, sure.
Okay. Just downplay that because you're afraid. The 49ers are beat to a fucking pulp. Trent Williams is not the same. The O-line is injured. Brock Purdy is garbage. No Debo, no Ayuk. Kittle's banged up. Jordan Mason is banged up. Offense, bad. Defense, not as good as last year. Rookie safety got trucked by Patrick Mahomes. He might not technically be on the injury report, but that's got to have some kind of impact. And aside from Fred Warner, no one else on that defense really scares me. So, yeah, the Cowboys kind of suck, but we had 2 weeks to prepare. I ran 10 fucking miles for this team. They're going to win. The Eagles, on the other hand, you downplay this as the Bengals don't have a good record, whatever. The Bengals are probably the hungriest, neediest, going to be the grittiest team the rest of the season. I want nothing to do with them. I don't want to see them on the field. They desperately need wins. Joe Burrow, even though they're losing, is playing out of his mind. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are clicking on all cylinders. And I think the Eagles are in trouble because the Eagles play these close, gritty games where they struggle to put up points. The Bengals score points, and they score touchdowns. So the Eagles in a really tough matchup here. The Cowboys not in a fucking cakewalk. I'd say more likely the Cowboys win than the Eagles.
I would like to take a different approach to this debate. And instead of talk about how the other team is injured and the other team this, the other team that, and even mention that my team sucks, and come to the other game and talk about the team the Eagles are playing, I'm just going to talk about the Eagles because unlike the Cowboys, we're a good football team, and we just had our best win of the season last week. And when this team is healthy, and when this offense can put up explosive plays like it usually does when A.J. Brown is on the field, not to mention the best running back in football, Saquon Barkley, not to mention this defense hasn't given up a touchdown in 2 weeks, not to mention that Darius Slay and Quinyon Mitchell, I like against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, which frankly, what I see in the Bengals is the only part of the Bengals. They don't have a defense, right? So Eagles put up a comfortable 24 points. I think that wins the fucking game. I just do. And I expect us to do that unless Nick Sirianni comes in with bad mistakes. But I'll bet on that. And I think you should too, Mr. Juror, Mr. Everyone out there. I think it's disrespectful that we're underdogs in this game because we've, maybe not played to our best potential. But I think it's clear that we are a better football team than the Bengals. And I don't care about Niners injuries. I don't think it's clear that the Cowboys are better than the Dolphins right now to bring your team into this, Sean. Right? Or are you a Patriots fan? I don't fucking know.
So we're not talking about my teams right now. We're talking about
Okay.
talking about the
Finish
Eagles
my
and the
point.
Cowboys.
To finish
All
my
right,
point,
Jaws, if you're finished with your
I'm
point,
not-
I'll
I'm
move
not
to the
done.
rebuttal
I'm
section.
not done.
The rebuttal section.
All right, we'll do. All right, get your rebuttal in. Go.
24 points comfortably. That's all the Eagles need to win, right? They haven't done that all season.
They just put up 28, and then the Packers. They put up 34 against the Packers, and they haven't
Okay.
scored a point in a first quarter, and they're going to do that eventually.
So they put up 28 against the Giants. Cool.
That's
Before
a good
that, they-
defense. Sean, is that a good defense?
I'm not in this yet. I'm waiting. This is the rebuttal portion.
Yeah, let me rebuttal. You're rebuttaling my rebuttal before I can rebuttal. 20 points comfortably against the Browns. 16 points comfortably against the Bucks. 15 points comfortably against the Saints. 21 points comfortably against the Falcons. You're not putting up 24 points comfortably just because you want to.
Okay, Sirianni won't be as bad as he was in those games with his decisions. Saquon won't drop balls, right? The shit fucking happens, and you've said it best. The Eagles haven't been clean this season, and when they are clean, like they were for 3 quarters in the Packers game and all game last week, they put up more than 24 points, and I'm sorry, I don't think the Bengals, given our cornerbacks and how well they've been playing, given our pass rush and how well it's been last week and getting to a sackable quarterback like Joe Burrow, I don't visualize the Bengals winning. They can, right? And I don't visualize the Cowboys winning a game against anyone. So that's my rebuttal to your rebuttal. And I would like to pass it off to the juror.
I accept.
Great arguments, guys. Just to prove that I'm unbiased, I do have a parlay that is Cowboys Bengals. Or no, not Cowboys Bengals. 49ers Bengals. Sorry,
Okay.
49ers Bengals.
Okay.
I think both of your teams are going to lose.
I love both our teams now.
The Cowboys, the Niners are banged up. The Cowboys just don't have talented players, period. They have CD and whatever is going on with Dak. And then Rico Dowdle is like the next best player on their team right now. Which
Don't
get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Rico Dowdle is a
Jalen
dog
Tolbert.
for sure. But I don't like the whole seeing Jerry Jones say, "Oh, we didn't even want Derrick Henry. It wouldn't work." I think you could put Derrick Henry anywhere and it would work. And they definitely need a Derrick Henry type. But also, Jaws, off the 2 best wins of your season, you just played the Browns and the damn Giants, dude.
I said the Packers, not the Browns.
No, you said you just came off two big wins in the last 2 weeks. You just played the 2 shittiest teams in football.
Okay.
I did say you haven't given up a touchdown.
Like
in the last 2 games.
I
a blind squirrel finds a nut. A blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. You
They're
played.
both good defenses. Okay, they looked good.
They still suck.
Why do they?
The Browns are awful, and the Giants. Daniel Jones shouldn't be in the NFL. He should have been benched 2 years ago.
I think the Eagles
But
are good.
The team that I think has the better chance is the Cowboys. Because the Bengals, it's getting to that time of year where you don't want to play Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
I know.
It's just, it happens every year. They start off slow. You're like, oh, is Burrow hurt? Are the Bengals done? And then they go on a 6-game win streak, and they're tied with the Ravens for first, which I don't think will happen this year. I think the Ravens are inevitable. I think the Ravens are disgusting.
Yeah.
But it's just that time of year. You don't want to play the Bengals. You don't.
That's a good point.
Like, Joe Burrow he's got his 6 or 7 game warm up. Jamar has been balling out. He's leading the NFL in receiving yards. Like
Can you at least just say the Eagles are better than the Cowboys as my concession?
I do think the Eagles are better than the Cowboys.
Thank
yes,
you.
I think head to head
Thank
the
you.
Eagles will beat the Cowboys. I think
Thank
the Cowboys have a better chance this week.
Get fucked, Mike.
Because the Niners are so banged up, and Brock Purdy, when he doesn't have his weapons, is still an Iowa State alum. And no offense to any Iowa State alums that may be listening to this, I imagine there are very, very few, if any. But no hate on the Cyclones. No hate on the Cyclones. There's still
my whole friend group here in Denver went to Iowa State.
Oh shit! Well, no hate on the Cyclones. Great school, great program, but Brock Purdy without I need Christian McCaffrey to come back. They need Christian McCaffrey to come back. I hope he's in Germany getting adamantanium put into his veins. Like, I hope he comes back like Wolverine. This week,
I know I released it late.
I did.
We talked about that Brock Purdy take a lot.
So I think this week the Cowboys have a better chance because they're going against a declining 49ers team, whereas the Eagles are playing a about to be very hot Bengals team, in my opinion.
Before you take your victory lap, can I offer you a deal?
Sure, but before you offer me a deal, I just want to gloat in the fact that you are like morally, as an Eagles fan, you're made of glass. You just went on this fucking insanely delusional take about the Eagles, and Sean said 10 words.
Because I also like the Bengals, dude.
You're right.
I like
the
Bengals.
My God.
Mike, you know I like the Bengals. You know I think those things are true. I've come on this podcast and religiously said the Bengals will put it together because that's what they do. So he brings up some good points. So I'm a little bit more scared after his 10 words because he made me come back to earth.
I think the better word is fragile.
I think I'm delusional sometimes, and my friends help me out, okay? And I try and help you out too. Can I give you my deal?
Offer me the deal. I might take it.
Well, the Eagles could win this game. They are a good team, and
you could barely say those words.
But like, my point is, what if we faded Sean? Because here's what I'm going to say. I actually think it's a sneaky spot for the Cowboys. Not even for the reasons of the Niners being depleted. Obviously, that helps. But it doesn't make sense for them to go 3-5 and really have a tough road back after that, especially with their games coming up. I feel like there's going to be a game where they make you be hopeful again and make you go into the Eagles game in 3 weeks for the sake of this podcast with something to talk about versus die. So that's why I could see them making you very hopeful to win against a Niners team that, like Sean said, has nobody right now, and you to be like, oh, the Cowboys are back. Like, see, look at that when they play tonight. So, like, I just visualize something like that happening, which is why I'd offer you this deal, given my great points about the Eagles and how we're clearly going to win. We fade Sean and take Eagles-Cowboys moneyline parlay. How about those odds?
I will admit, fading me is probably the right choice. Whatever the opposite of tungsten steel is me recently. I haven't hit a bet in the last bet I hit. I tailed Dom, and it was a 5-leg first quarter over yards, and we barely hit. I placed Jaylen Brown over the other night, 23.5. He had 23 with 12 minutes left in the fourth and got pulled for the rest of the game.
Oh, you poor thing. You missed a parlay.
I haven't hit a bet in a long time. So whatever, I'm the opposite of Mike. So I wouldn't, fading me is probably not the worst idea. I was going to make Bengals my mortal lock, but I think my roommate would actually come into my room in my sleep and kill me.
Mike? Come on. It'll be fun.
No, not betting on the Eagles.
It'll be fun, dude. I'll bet on the Eagles. It goes two ways.
But I don't want to have to root for the Eagles.
You don't have to. Just like,
but I like rooting for the teams I bet on. So that's where I fall into the trap sometimes. I like rooting for players that I like, so I bet on them.
Yeah.
And I don't like the Eagles or anything they stand for.
All right.
Or the city of Philadelphia. And you have no confidence in the Eagles, dude.
I have plenty. I think I brought up some really great points there.
Yeah, and then Ton Short fucking shredded them to pieces in like 3 words.
I am taking the Cowboys, though. I just because of the storyline. It makes sense.
Okay,
but
so for purpose of picks, I'm on Bengals, Cowboys. You're on Eagles, Cowboys,
and Sean's on the opposite of both.
I'm on Bengals, Niners. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to the rest of the slate, shall we?
Let's do it.
Do you have it pulled up? What's the biggest game we got coming?
The biggest game of the 1 o'clock slate.
Those were both good games, though. I'm glad we get to talk about good games with our teams.
Those were good games. 1 o'clock is sort of mediocre. We got some decent divisional games.
No London.
No London, thank God.
Thank God.
I'm done with the London. I'm done with
there
the
F1
Monday night games.
Done with the London. There is.
There is
Mexico.
F1.
Mexico, right. Okay,
Mhm.
I know we're going to get to football, but we're all three F1 fans in the fantasy league together, which I'm pretty sure I'm in first place in.
You're in
Right
second.
now.
I'm in third.
No,
I'm in second.
I'm the one that dropped out.
Jersey's in second.
Yeah.
You suck, Josh.
Yeah, I suck. But I Austin was an amazing race, but the Max Lando stuff's pretty fucking. That was incredible racing. Are you mad about the penalty?
I mean, Lando's a choke artist. He can't put it together. He talked that shit about Lewis. Oh, if you're in the fastest car, all you have to do is just drive around, and he's in a fucking NASA rocket ship designed by mega engineers, and he can't even lead out of the first corner.
Why does he suck on pole? That's the part I just don't get at all.
Piastri should be the number one driver on that team.
I don't know about that.
I'm a Piastri hater.
Yeah,
he's a robot.
I'm also
he shows
Piastri
no
hater.
emotion. He doesn't get excited. I'm like, bro, there's 20 people in the world that get to drive these cars, and you're one of them, and you're like fucking 22 years old. Like, get a little fired up when you win a fucking race, because like less than 100 people have ever done it. Like,
I think we can all agree though, Charles Leclerc, Predestinado is. He's electric. I
love Charles.
I like
He's
Charles.
great.
He's the man.
As a Red Bull fan, it's tough, but
Sean, you're also a DJ guy like myself. Don't you think Oscar Piastri looks like Malpe?
Yes.
Very canny.
Yes, definitely.
Mike, did you ever get those Fisher tickets?
No, but I am going to see Clooney next weekend.
Oh, dude, I'm also seeing Clooney next week on Halloween.
Huh.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
Yeah, traveling a lot.
Seeing Mochok tomorrow night at Mission.
Wow.
Yeah, excited for that.
I'm going to Echo Stage, which I'm pretty pumped about. It's like a top 10 concert venue in the world.
Yes.
It's in DC.
Yeah,
So
I've heard of that
I just bought Rufus Du Sol tickets for Miami
Me too.
in May.
Me too. I did
I
Denver.
bought them for DC.
Oh, we all got them? That's all three different cities?
Go.
That's sick. We're sick. See, we're cool. We're fucking
so
cool.
cool.
We're not just losers.
I'm not 40
We're
years
so
old.
cool.
What?
All right. Anyways, with the bets we're going to lose this week, I guess.
Yeah. I'm just going to start firing away games.
Yeah, let's do it.
Nothing really pops out at me that gets me fired up, so we'll just rip it.
Okay.
Wow. Jets at Patriots.
Awful game.
Sean, the Patriots fan, you're getting 7 points. Are you comfortable with the Patriots getting 7 points?
I'm betting the under. That's the only thing I'm touching in that game.
40.5. You think it still goes under that?
Yes.
I like that,
Yes.
honestly.
I think
I'm
that is going to be
take the Patriots.
that is going to be a
enjoy
disgrace to
misery.
football. That is going to be
Do
an
I have
awful
to bet
football
it?
game.
Can I actually void bets this week? I don't want to touch this game.
Yeah, you can void bets. I've been doing better with picking every game, so I'm going to continue.
Okay.
And we can move to like a percentage thing moving forward
Sure.
because you're a pussy. But
I just
Patriots
looked at
plus
7 points with a shitty game, and I don't want to bet the Jets anywhere, but the Patriots are bad. So
I'm just so out. I'm so out on the Jets. I don't care about Devontae
I hate the
Adams.
Jets.
I don't care about anything with the Jets. And Drake May is like kind of cool. Like, I don't mind rooting for him. I'm gonna root for him.
I appreciate
if he turns
that.
into Tom Brady, I'm gonna like be on suicide watch, but I don't think he will. So I'm good.
Packers at Jags. Green Bay -4.
This is actually my lock of the week.
Ooh.
My lock of the week was going to be Bengals -3, and then I saw this line, and
oh no,
this is my lock of the week is Packers -4.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Mike, you know we can't bet the Packers now. It can't be all three of us on the Packers. There's no
my
way.
lock of the week.
It does seem so obvious.
Here's my thing, Mike, and I don't know if you're decided yet on this game, but like we did something similar with the Rams game tonight that we could do with this. Everyone and their mother is going to be on the Packers. In this game.
-4 is just the Jags are awful. And they're going to
but
have a
that's the
reverse
thing.
jet lag. They're going to have
That's
reverse
the
jet lag.
thing.
They got acclimated to London. They just came back.
No, but the -4 is the thing. Like, it's a weird line. It's 3.5 on FanDuel. They're begging people to take the Packers.
I think you buy a point there and ride off into the sunset.
Mike, I'm taking the Jags.
Oh,
I know it sucks, but I think
No, I just can't do it. I mean, the
Really?
Jags, they looked better last week. Brian
Fuck.
Thomas is the guy. They said it preseason, and he certainly is the guy.
I'm
But the
so
Packers
lost.
are a better team. Like,
Oh
there
my
could be
God.
some shitty backdoor cover where it goes from
No.
like 11-4, but like, are you taking the Packers now?
No, I'm taking the Jags. It's 91% of the money is on Green Bay, and I just got to think Vegas is going to win some this week. Sorry, Sean. I think I turned the
I'm
camera
going to
off.
stick with the Packers, although I don't like it.
I'm a little lost. I'll be honest with NFL.
Packers
I
defense.
feel-
Packers defense has been lights out.
Yeah, and the Packers
They're
are
very, very good.
just the Packers. Like, oh fuck.
They win
Why
games.
why do I do this to myself? I'm taking the Jags. But I do
If you're looking to be more lost, I have another good game for you.
please give it to me.
The Cardinals are at the Dolphins, and I believe it's the return of Tua.
Yes. I'm
And the
almost
Dolphins
positive.
are favored by 4 points.
Okay.
Seems like a lot. Like, Tua's back. Cardinals are bad. The Cardinals did just beat the Chargers in a gritty game where they didn't look that great, and the Chargers messed themselves up.
3.5's weird. I wish it was 3.
I've got it at 4,
I've
actually.
got it at 4
Yeah.
also.
That's weird. That's really weird. I kind of like.
I like the over in that game.
Yeah, me too. Actually, that's a. Ooh. Can we just do that? I don't want to bet aside.
Yeah, you can stay off it. I'm going to lay the points.
And you're taking the Dolphins.
That would be what laying the points means, yes.
Whoa.
You're learning. I'm teaching you.
Shut up, Mike. Shut the fuck up. And I'm also going to take the Dolphins.
Tua
Cool.
first game back. If he doesn't die, they win by 2 touchdowns.
I agree. Another game where someone might die, and it could be the entirety of the Titans team. The Titans are going to have to play the Lions, which seems unfair for the Titans because I'm not sure they're both still in the NFL. Biggest line of the season so far, Lions minus 12. Can you lay 12 points, Sean?
Slam it. At home, the Titans suck. Lions Vikings was a absolute classic last week. Grudge match. And both teams looked unreal good, but the Lions, you can't make mistakes against the Lions. Jared Goff is playing almost MVP level if Lamar Jackson wasn't laying waste to the entire league. Jared Goff's clearly the MVP. It is Lamar right now, but if Lamar's not there, it's Jared Goff. Sonic and Knuckles is an awesome backfield tandem nickname. So sick. And even without Aiden Hutchinson, the defense still looks really good. They have the best O-line. Like the Lions, I'd probably
they're
take the
best team in
Lions
football.
plus or minus 15, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think it's the same debate if this line's where it's at or if it's 16.5. And the Titans fucked me out of $1,000 last week, so I'm never betting on that team again.
I'm also going to take the Lions.
Oh God.
I just can't possibly put my money on the Titans.
No.
I think the Titans are in a similar league to like the Panthers, where I can't bet on them at any spread.
I can't believe they fired Mike Vrabel. Like,
Ed, and that actually brings up a good point. I would love to put him in my draft for the draft we're about to do. The first draft in the Why Not Us podcast. Right when we're done with picks, we're moving into our draft of NFL, or not NFL, just coaches of any sport ever. Currently, I figured all time would be harder to do. So look forward to that. Next game, Mike.
Next game is we have 2 more 1 o'clock games, 3 more 1 o'clock games. Let's hurry up. Falcons off a bad loss at the Buccaneers off bad loss for their depth chart.
All right, let's just say real quick. I got Falcons.
Minus 2.5 are the Falcons in Tampa.
Yeah,
Falcons.
and they'll split this series. I think they're similar teams, and the Buccaneers squeezed a close one against them. already.
I'm also on the Falcons. Bucks seem super down bad, and morale's pretty
Oh
low in
wait,
Tampa.
no, the Falcons won that game. No, I want to take the Bucks. I wanted to take whoever didn't win that Thursday night game, and the
See,
Falcons.
that's the
won
problem
that
with
game.
you, dude. You're not picking the game right now. You're picking the game from 3 weeks ago, and you need to focus on the
No, I'm
football that's
doing the
being played
opposite.
on
You
Sunday.
need to lock in. That's what really needs to
Dude,
happen.
3 weeks ago, like I'm taking the team that almost won that game. Right? They're gonna split the series. It's just simple.
If you have a losing week
physics.
this week, that's 3 straight weeks, and we have to have a discussion about you possibly not knowing
My
ball.
lock of the weeks are 5 and 2, and on college football, I'm sharp as fuck. So I know we don't talk as much college football. I've seen the board very well.
My locks of the week are 6 and 1, and I graduated from college. So let me know when you get to the big leagues.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Next game, Ravens -8.5 in Cleveland.
Another
That's it?
slam. Another slam.
Did you say 8.5? I thought you said
Ravens.
3.5. Browns. Deshaun Watson's not playing. That's a lot of points in Cleveland.
Jameis effect. That's a good point. His last name does start with wins.
I'm going to take the Ravens.
I'm still on the Ravens.
I feel like
They still they blow these games at the end and they make it closer than it should be, and I can just see another backdoor cover, but I'm okay with it.
I just bet on the Browns again and feel confident about it. But
let's fucking go. I love the Ravens now.
Titans at Lions, we hit Saints at Chargers.
Oh, you skipped Colts at Texans, but
oh my bad.
Colts at Texans. Texans laying 5, which for you, Jaws, means Texans -5.
You're mean,
I'm going to
dude.
take the Colts.
I'm taking the Texans.
I'm also taking Texans money line.
Wow.
Nice.
Texans defense has made quarterbacks look stupid, and Anthony Richardson doesn't need anyone to make him look stupid.
He played well against him in week 1. Didn't win, but he covered 5.
I thought I wasn't supposed to look at prior games, Mike.
Like, I'm a big AR guy, but he's kind of an idiot.
No, he's definitely an idiot.
Yeah.
All right. 4 o'clock window. Saints at
games.
Chargers. Chargers -7. They are not rocking with our buddy Rattler.
No,
Rat
they're
Pack.
not.
Rat Pack, baby. Rat Pack.
Bigger lines this week for sure.
Yeah. Big spreads.
Yeah. I got Chargers. Better team.
I've got the under in this one.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to take the Saints because Jaws isn't sharp, so I'll just fade him. Bills
I feel good about this
Seahawks. Bills at Seahawks, expecting a bigger line here, and it's not. Bills are only -3.
Interesting. I want to see where the money's at in this game. Yeah, 80% on Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Seahawks. They just came off a big win. I really don't think they're that great, but Buffalo's got to come back down to earth, and might happen on Sunday.
I'm going to take the Bills because I do like fading you, and I wanted to mix it up, right? Some of these I'm going to fade the public. Some of these I'm going to be sharp and take the better football team.
Lost. You're so lost.
The Bills are the better football team, and I know I'm just going to get which ones is going to. Yeah.
I'm on the Seahawks as well. They looked really good last week, and at home, that stadium is extremely loud.
This is
Amari Cooper's still not settled into the offense. As much as like when he gets settled into the offense, it's going to be very scary.
Vegas
but I think Seahawks at home +3, definitely.
Nice. Worst game of the week. Jaws, you should go to this as punishment for sucking at betting. Panthers at Broncos. Broncos -10. I'd love to know the last time the Broncos were favored by 10. Maybe one of those Peyton Manning days.
Afternoon game, I should go to this. Get tickets for like $13.
Broncos -10. Yeah, Broncos -10.
Dude, I got 10.5 on FanDuel. That's crazy.
I might bet Bo Nix 2+ touchdowns in this.
I like that, Sean. That's cool.
Rushing, not passing. Rushing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I got Broncos too. Not betting the
Broncos,
Panthers
yeah.
in anything.
Don't need to talk about it.
Yeah. No.
All right.
Disgusting.
Chiefs at Raiders. Chiefs -9.5. I think it's back to Gardner Minshew because Aiden O'Connell's hurt. The Aiden O'Connell era did not last long. Raiders talked a bunch of shit to the Chiefs in the offseason. Chiefs -9.5 away from home seems like a lot. What do you got?
Chiefs. I mean, I'm going to go back to your point last week, which is betting against Patrick Mahomes against the worst team is kind of just never.
Raiders
advised.
give them friskiness every once in a while. They do, but I'm taking the Raiders. The Chiefs have been covering a lot. They've been covering a lot. At some point, they won't, and they're not. Well, they are pretty good.
Andy Reid.
I know. But it's a division game. 9.5 points is a lot. Mike?
I can't take the Raiders.
Yeah, I know.
I'm taking the Chiefs. I did see something cool. Since Antonio Pierce took over the Raiders, they're the only team. I mean, I'm totally going to fuck this up, but they're the only team to lose to the Panthers, the most recent team to beat the Chiefs, the only team, and then like two other things that were just like one of them was really good and one of them was really bad, and I was like, that's the Raiders. So stat wasn't as cool because I couldn't remember it. Moving on to the game of the week, my lock of the week. Hopefully not Jaws' lock of the week unless he's fading me. Bears at Commanders.
Oh,
Bears -3. Bears. Doesn't matter if Jaden Daniels is on the field, on the sidelines, in the crowd, or at home. Bears.
Sean, I'm undecided.
I'm trying to see
read this game.
If I guess Jaden Daniels didn't practice today.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be a game time. I think the Commanders are actually decent, but
I think I gotta go Bears, even though Marcus Mariota looked good.
I gotta go Bears.
Like Mariota, Ertz, maybe Chip Kelly saw something all those years ago, but
I just think your lock of the week is too simple, and I think you should be punished for it at some point. And I still don't know what my lock of the week is, but
my lock of the week is like the Bears or the Steelers every week. I'm just sharp.
I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna fade Mike's lock of the week. I'm gonna go Commanders money line.
I'm on Mike's lock of the week in hopes that will help him lose it.
I'm Commanders money line.
I think there's one more game Monday night
football. Giants at Steelers. Steelers -6. Fellas,
I love the Giants in this game. So I'm taking really dumb picks, and I'm gonna go like 11-4 because of it. Just watch. It's the week of dumb picks. I can feel it.
I kind of also like the Giants.
I love the Giants in this game. It just makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Russ played way too well last week.
Yep.
Way too well.
And the Giants played really bad, but they have some pieces. I
think Dexter Lawrence, Thibodeau, I think they tear up that Steelers O-line. I think Russell Wilson, you see why they should be starting Justin Fields because the guy just can't move like he once could.
Yeah.
I do like the Giants.
Russell Wilson very sackable now, and the Giants get sacks. Yeah. No,
I might buy 1.5. But
Mike?
I'm not in on Russell Wilson. I'm not out on Russell Wilson. Who I am in on is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that defense is unreal. And Daniel Jones plays bad against good defenses. He plays decent against bad defenses. And the Giants can't score touchdowns. So if they can even make it to the red zone, which I don't think they can against this team, they're certainly not scoring touchdowns. The Steelers are going to be able to put up enough points to cover the 6-point spread. Steelers.
I almost want to make Giants my lock of the week. I know.
I was going to ask. You didn't make a lock of the week.
That's a wild lock of the week.
All right, here's my deal. I want the Giants to be my lock of the week if the line goes up to 7. If it doesn't, I'm taking the Eagles money line, not even spread, as my lock of the week. I'm gonna be good this week. I know I am.
You're
watch.
not.
Just watch. Just watch.
You have no idea what you're doing.
Just watch. Did you take Giants, Mike?
No,
Steelers. You took Steelers.
We faded each other on a lot of picks this week.
You intentionally,
dude, you
faded
keep
me,
changing your picks.
Yeah,
Me?
you have.
Yes.
That's the point. I'm lost. I'm lost in
Jersey,
NFL.
what are you doing with this guy, Jersey? What are you?
He needs help. I'm just beating him up too much. It's this whole like trying to switch up the formula
Vegas
and everything.
Is too good, dude. Especially with the NFL, it's just like flags and like you just have to like think about what other people aren't thinking. But then it's also sometimes as simple as just like that team's better. But then it's like some weeks that matters more or less, you know. So it's like it's all about practice, right? It's like when you start a job, you want to trial by fire. Right? The Bobby Portis face is gonna live in this podcast history. Anyways,
yeah, I think you're just super in your own head over there, Jaws. I think you need like a little Aaron Rodgers ayahuasca retreat. Like you need to just clear the mind.
In 4
you should do
years,
an ayahuasca retreat. I think you'd come out the other end really good.
Everyone knows in a profession when you're an NFL quarterback that like year 7 is your year. So in year 7 of gambling, I'm going to be a stud because I've trial by fire. I've tried all these things, and I'm just going to get it one day. It's going to be okay.
I think you just claim to be a ball knower.
I am.
Is
I'm
up
great
for
with
debate.
college. I'm great with college.
But you don't make your picks based on knowledge of ball. You make your picks based on
emotions and past
other
games.
10 factors.
Where the money's
don't
at.
say that. It's not emotions. It's not past games. It's strictly Vegas and where the money is and what I think people are gonna do. So I won't do it. It has nothing to do with what I've seen in past games. I do not bet that way.
Okay.
You literally bet on the Bucks solely because the Bucks lost to the Falcons the first time around.
Like we have it video recorded. We have it video recorded. It's not even a deep fake.
A normal person with that logic would take the Falcons because they won that game. I took the Bucks because they lost that game. That doesn't make sense.
Well, if you want free money, Derrick Henry anytime, Jamar anytime, Lions minus 11.5, lock of the week.
Jamar anytime against Quinyon Mitchell.
Parlay.
Not happening. And I don't know if it's still on the schedule. We'll have to check with him, but we hope to have our Bengals friend on the Monday recap for Eagles-Bengals.
Honestly, I kind of hope the Eagles win because that would be way funny.
Yeah. That would be good content. Or I'll just get roasted by him. That'll be good.
Either way, one of you will be sad. It'll be cool.
Jaws, give me one college lock of the week.
Thank you. Actually, I was gonna say I placed a parlay today, and so also Vegas logic. Here was my thing. I like the lines that it's like almost a point for like when you would want to take it, right? So Florida State is plus 20.5 at Miami. I'm taking Florida State. Wisconsin plus 6.5. Penn State's visiting them, and I like their money line that game. People are going to want to take the 6.5 for Penn State. They're going to want to do the same thing for Miami. Both are clearly better teams. And Kansas is at Kansas State, a rivalry game, obviously, and Kansas is a good team, plus 9.5. So do you see what I did there? That parlay is plus 650. Those three, spreads, pick a side, and I think for each side, the public's going to be on the other side, and I think the line is telling you that.
Florida State,
the Kansas Jayhawks are 2-5.
We're on the same page, Sean. Florida State's also 1-6. So
you just said Kansas is a good football team.
Yeah, they're still decent.
They're 2-5.
Yeah, but against Kansas State, they're good.
Okay, so now you're betting on previous games.
I've got
previous games again.
I've got Colorado minus 6.5.
Okay.
LSU plus 1. Indiana minus 6.5.
I almost wanted to take LSU, but then I don't know. It's I always feel like I lose when I bet LSU, and like Texas A&M could be better than people are ready to give credit for.
You're very much in your own head there, Jaws,
Dude.
and I don't know how to help you.
What?
But one thing that Sean does know is Indiana is a fucking wagon.
Walk.
Washington, new to the Big Ten. Indiana, always been a great Big Ten football school, as we all know. And I love their coach. I love their quarterback. I love their team. I don't like Washington. 6.5. They should be laying 26.5.
I've clearly faded the public this week, which I said I wasn't going to do anymore. So
can we talk real quick about the Gators last week?
Yeah, I mean we did on the pod, but yeah, that was great.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's good to see. I had a non-stressful Gators game and a non-stressful Eagles game. It was a pretty great weekend.
DJ Lagway gives me so much hope. So much hope. He just looks so good out there.
Please stay. Get him on the pod.
We got pulled up into my friend's box. It was an electric game day.
Yeah, that looks sick.
Watch DJ Lagway just absolutely drop his nuts on Kentucky's forehead.
You watched his first. Well, was that? Yeah, that was his first
SEC start. Yeah,
and obviously his best game yet. That's pretty cool. You were there.
So
I'm jealous. Yeah, how was State of Kai?
Awesome.
How's Room 21?
Looks like shit.
No rooster, no massage chair.
Not anymore.
Damn.
Should we get into the coach draft?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm excited for this. By the way, my parlay I said gonna hit. I feel really good about this week. Just to put it out there, because I've gotten a lot of shit for being lost. Sometimes being lost, it worked. Never mind. Coaches draft. So, first draft, let's do it snake style. Sean, you have the first overall pick, given that you're a guest on the pod. Mike, since you're a loser, you can go second, and I'll round us out and do 2 picks on the back end. And I say, 3 of us, a lot of coaches, 5 rounds each? Rip through it?
That works
for me.
Cool. Let's do it. Sean?
All right, I'll start number 1. This is a very predictable pick. I'm sure you guys thought this was going to be my pick. It is my pick. Joe Mazzulla. He's
I had him on my list.
Perfect blend of psycho and basketball mind. His quotes are awesome. Like, I don't know if you guys watch the Jaylen Brown Hot Ones. They call their offense is the killer whale offense. What does that even mean? How does that even translate to a basketball court? It clearly translates because the Knicks suck. But Joe Mazzulla, The Town, great movie. Joe Mazzulla, great coach. Celtics are going back to back.
I love that. I love psycho coaches, and he is top of the psycho coaches list. He is incredible in his post-game interviews. Just fucking locked in. He's the David Goggins of basketball.
Not real.
I like that. And I did see that coming.
I had him on my list though. And
you knew it was coming. There's no better pick for me to make. Like,
you guys hated him though. First year you hated him. Yeah. After Ime,
I liked Ime. I liked Ime, but Joe has since he's come in.
He had a slow start, and then Celtics fans lost to the Heat in that series, but then obviously made up for it. And now everyone loves him, rightfully so.
Yeah, going Joe.
Mike, who's your
1-1.
pick?
I am also gonna go with an NBA guy just to combat that. I'm gonna take Eric Spoelstra.
That's a good pick.
He's not the flashiest, not the sexiest, but he just gets that team to win. And if you want to go back to like rings and everything, like all these recent Jimmy Butler Heat teams that have no business making it to the Eastern Conference Finals and the finals, like he just figures it out. He puts guys together. Whoever's on the court, they win. And great coach.
That's good pick. And I didn't have any basketball coaches except for Mazzulla. And I didn't have any like baseball managers either. Definitely heavy football. And I feel like I just have to go Andy Reid. I don't think I really have a choice there. And I'm obviously a huge Andy Reid guy. He gave us some pretty happy years for an Eagles franchise that had sucked for a while. So, and he's Andy Reid. I mean, we talked about it a lot on this week's pod. Like I think it's cool too, because you could argue as far as coaches for the major sports, like he's separated himself into his own tier, right? By himself. I don't know if you could say that for any other major sports. So I get 2 in a row. Andy Reid, you can go a lot of ways here. I like psychos. This guy's psycho, but he's also just a football guy, and I like that he has experience in winners in both levels. I gotta take Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, okay. That was one of my picks.
I just love Jim Harbaugh. The track record's there, the personality's there. Nobody hates Jim Harbaugh, including the players, including the fans, right? He's just a guy I'd want to have on my team. And he's also, I'd say he's approaching legend status. And let me admit, too, his brother seems to get lost in this. Like John Harbaugh, also incredible coach, very easily, arguably better. Maybe most say that. I don't know. But, Jim Harbaugh, Michigan was great. He got the championship there. And I expect him to just keep doing it because he's Jim Harbaugh. So Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh.
I like the pick. I think you went a little early on Harbaugh. I think there's some better NFL coaches.
Agree.
He was lower on my list that I put together in the last 5 minutes.
Well, can I say I did my rankings kind of based on like coaches that I would just like want and like versus like who I think's the best.
I also did that. So
I know you didn't prepare for this, Mike. So
I did that too, though.
Okay.
Someone that I don't really like that for some reason I'm starting to like this year. Great coach though, Mike Tomlin.
Dude, I was choosing between Harbaugh and Tomlin. Yeah.
He was on my list.
I think I made the better pick there then.
I think they're similar because they're both psychos. They both give you good post-game moments.
One guy has had 17 straight winning seasons.
One guy hasn't won a playoff game since the Jaguars game in like 2016, dude.
Tomlin wins, man. Tomlin wins.
So does Harbaugh. He wins at both levels. How many coaches could say that?
He's currently like banned from the NCAA for cheating.
Okay, he's not banned. Urban Meyer cheated. Nick Saban probably cheated.
Urban Meyer cheated on his wife.
That was good. All right, Tomlin. I'd still take Harbaugh over Tomlin.
All right, glad you're happy.
All right, my next pick is kind of a backdoor one.
Okay,
and it's Terry Francona.
Oh, frisky.
Terry Francona. Obviously Red Sox legend.
Yeah.
Like big part of my childhood. Then went to the Cubs, won there. Then went to the Indians/Guardians. They're obviously a great team now. And now he's at the Reds, just going to try to do it again. And you gotta respect a little bit a guy that will literally take the worst job that he can and try to win, just to be like, hey, I can do it. Like the Red Sox, obviously the Babe Ruth curse the Bambino, won them a championship, 2 championships, 04 and 07, and then broke the Cubs streak, which was an even worse job. 2 of the most historic franchises in baseball. Almost did it with the Guardians, and now he's at the Reds. Like, so I think I go Francona there.
I like it. I almost put like Joe Madden on the list, and he, similar track record, but Francona definitely has the better personality of the two.
Joe Madden's still coaching?
I think he's still the Dodgers.
I guess he's technically not anymore. He retired recently.
It's not technically. He either is or he isn't.
Yeah, he's retired.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I didn't put him on the list.
My next one is another kind of backdoor one that I'm picking him for his previous coaching, not where he's currently coaching, but he is currently coaching. It's Billy Donovan.
I think it might be a reach.
Love Billy Donovan. I miss Billy Donovan. I hope Todd Golden can be Billy Donovan.
He could be,
but I'm going Billy Donovan just for the Gator aspect. I had to put him on my list.
All right, I respect.
Third round,
I'm not gonna make.
It's not a great pick.
For,
not a great pick.
If
I like it.
If there were to be draft grades, it would probably be in the D's. But it could be a late round. Who would have thought type of pick?
It's fine.
You take your guys. You take your guys. Billy Donovan's your guy.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure if you were going to start to hit college, so I did have a few college guys that popped into my mind, and I was going to hold off for a little bit, but now I'm nervous that they might not make it all the way back to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with another NBA guy, as I just said that. I'm going to take Greg Popovich.
I think you missed here. I think you were on the right track.
Lib.
I mean, he's just awesome. You don't like Greg Popovich?
But he's washed. I think he's a little washed.
Is he washed, though? Is Wemby not like his final hurrah?
CP3 to Wemby is going to be nasty.
All right. But, he hasn't won in a while. I know he has talent. It doesn't mean, like, they're gone. I guess they're, they'll be good, but...
Is there an assist
will they win
title?
A championship?
Can I bet on assist title?
Why? Do you want to bet Wemby?
I want to bet CP3. I want to bet CP3.
I don't think he's going to have the minutes.
I was going to say, I don't think he's going to play enough.
I think you were going to take Dan Hurley, right?
That's where I was going. Yeah,
you put the... No? You don't want to take Dan Hurley?
Well, I had another college basketball guy in mind, but just proceed.
Chris Paul plus 4,000 to lead the league in assists.
Nice, that was quick.
Honestly, thought it'd be higher. Honestly,
it's pretty good. Yeah, no, it's got to be Dan Hurley. Maybe I'm blanking. Maybe it's you're taking your Calipari or Kansas coach, but yeah, Dan Hurley. I mean, not only because he's won back-to-back championships, clearly is leading the best college basketball program in the country right now. You can have your takes about next year, and he's Dan Hurley. Like, he's a personality for the ages. I think you could argue Dan Hurley is like the coolest coach right now, and I think I'm getting him in the third round. So
turned down a huge Lakers offer. That's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you
guys?
Because
he didn't want to move his wife. Respect.
Massive.
I wonder if JJ Redick's on your guys' list.
No.
He did not make it on my list.
My next pick, I could go another NFL guy here because I have one more that I want to take because he's also a psycho, but I'm going to go with a college guy. I'm going to go Dan Lanning. He's my favorite coach in college football right now. Saban's gone. It's not like I'm going to put my eggs in Kirby Smart's or Steve Sarkisian's basket. And Dan Lanning's the fucking man. So I got Dan Lanning.
I like that pick.
I like
that pick.
Thanks,
Oregon's
guys.
on a roll.
Thanks.
I mean, like, there's clearly better coaches.
All right, go ahead, pick. Your pick.
Well, I'm going to diverge into another sport. It was interesting. I wanted to hit on a college guy, but, like, you're right. There is no Saban. There is no Coach K or Roy Williams for basketball. Like, these other guys are there. I'm not going to take Calipari. I'm not going to take Mark Pugh, although I thought about it because Gonzaga's cool. I'm going to take Pep Guardiola. Sean, as someone who isn't as into soccer, you may not know who that is. He is the current coach of Manchester City. He has won, I think, 3 or 4 straight Premier League titles. They won the Champions League finally. He also won the Champions League with Barcelona and with Bayern Munich. And he is one of the greatest soccer coaches in the history of the sport. And he deserves a place on this list. I hate him because I'm a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I respect the greatness.
Cool. It's a good pick. I didn't do my soccer research enough.
Yeah, you knew I wasn't taking any soccer coaches.
No, but
you know,
I was thinking, like, I know he's regarded as the best football manager, so I'm glad someone did.
I think the pick that you were going to take, Jaws. Maybe not the best coach. Honestly, he could be in that conversation in a couple of years if he keeps up the current trajectory that he's on. Dan Campbell. Love Dan Campbell.
It wasn't Dan Campbell.
Psychopath.
Yeah.
Gonna bite someone's knee off. We're gonna bite their kneecaps off. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Players coach.
That's an easy
absolute
pick.
Psychopath. Has the Lions rolling. Yeah. Fan base is completely. I don't think there's a single Lions fan that doesn't like Dan Campbell. Not one.
No, I don't think there's not a lot of fans in general,
which is hard to say about any fan base that every single fan likes their coach. I think every single Lions fan on the planet right now likes Dan Campbell.
I think the only people that don't are Packers fans, and that's it.
So I've got Dan Campbell, and then coming back around, I've got a interesting pick, not the best coach,
last pick,
but a very, very fun coach.
Okay.
Mike Gundy.
Nice.
Mike Gundy.
Nice. Yeah, we deserve to put a lot of college coaches in here because there are some great college coaches.
Like
Mike Gundy
his quotes, his hair, just Mike Gundy all around. I wasn't going to get through this draft without picking him. I think if I got paid millions of dollars to be a college coach, my press conferences would probably go similar to his.
Big drinking and driving guy.
No. Other than that, no, don't condone that.
Yeah,
but it was funny.
City.
But it was funny.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. Good pick.
I do like that. I'm gonna close out my list. I didn't have as much fun as you guys did with this, and I ultimately think if we look back on this, I have the best list of greatest coaches. Not to brag, but I'm gonna continue with that. I'm gonna finish off with an NFL guy. Debating between two of them. Ultimately, I'm going to go with Sean McVay.
That was mine.
And I was debating between McVay and Kyle Shanahan.
He's also a psycho.
Yeah, and he's like 10 years old, and he runs around the field like a little kid. And I was going to go with Shanahan because I think Shanahan might run a better offense. But Shanahan hasn't gotten over that hump and won himself a Super Bowl, and McVay has. So, Sean McVay.
Damn it. Yeah, that's who I was thinking, Sean. But Dan Campbell's also a great one. And you needed that pick, Mike, because like your other picks, you didn't have a single. I know we said like we were taking guys we liked, but only Eric Spo out of Tomlin, Popovich, and not to mention the soccer guy, are top 5 like coaches in their respective leagues right now. Popovich is in top 5, and Tomlin is in top 5.
Well, we didn't say current. We said current as in their active coaches.
Right.
Not like their current performance.
That's fair. That is fair. You're doing like Popovich is like the best because of his history, but he's still current. Okay. Dude, I'm sorry. I was stalling there, Mike. I don't know who I'm going to take now. I had written down, Rex Ryan, but I don't think I'm allowed to take him.
No.
No, not active.
Also Gruden. Like, how can you not love Gruden?
Another good one.
I had Arizona State head coach written down. Mike, do you know his name?
No, it's his first year though, and he's a bum.
Why is he a bum?
He's a loser.
Why is he a loser?
He doesn't win. He's just like, I just care so much about my players and their education, and I just want them to have fun and
I like
try
how
hard.
He doesn't look like he belongs to be a head coach of a football team anywhere. It's just like, it makes
me
wonder. It's like you and me. Like, we could be coaches if that guy can't.
Yeah. Your auto pick, if you don't have one, is Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, I just like how weird he is. I think that's...
I love him. I just wish he was a better head coach.
Do you guys have any good fat guy ones? I couldn't really think of a good current fat head coach.
I had Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni is just a troll. if all my other coaches got picked.
Mine's not Sirianni. I'll take Shane Steichen though, because I love Shane Steichen.
Mike McCarthy.
I could go LaFleur.
I thought about Pete Carroll.
Yeah. I guess you can count him as a free agent if you wanted to.
Oh, he's not a coach.
He's
not a
the
coach
Seahawks
anymore.
coach, no.
I could take Robert Saleh. He's with the what team is he with now? The Niners?
Packers offense.
Packers offense. Yes. Yeah, Robert Saleh. No, I'm gonna take.
He's so lost.
He's so lost. He's been lost the whole episode. It's crazy.
Right,
How are you lost for an hour
McDaniel.
and 45 minutes?
I have been sick all week and I've been traveling all day. I think I did pretty good for an hour and a half episode. Mike McDaniel's my final pick. Here are the teams.
Auto pick.
It's a good
auto pick.
Literally got auto picked.
I still love my team. Sean's team: Joe Maz 1-1, Terry Francona, Billy Donovan, Dan Campbell, and Mike Gundy.
Yeah, I really wish the Billy Donovan pick is not great.
I'd say it was pretty good other than that. Mike, Eric Spo, Tomlin, Popovich, Pep Ravioli, and McVay. And then mine was Andy Reid, Harbaugh, Dan Hurley, Dan Lanning, and Mike McDaniel. I think
Harbaugh's the odd man out there a little bit.
Yeah, maybe even Dan Lanning if you wanted to go there. But maybe we can be good at our job. Sorry to the audience for the weird schedule this week. We suck at uploading and priorities sometimes, but we'll try and get like the picks up on the gram to show people the draft, and definitely some clips from this episode. This was a good episode. I had a lot of fun.
It was. This was fun.
Hey man, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. Like we said, there will be more to come given you're our NBA insider, and you had a great interview. You know, there was a lot of other candidates, a lot of people asking to be on the top 5 podcast.
I mean, why not us? Realistically,
why not us is the thing.
Why not us?
Call it a podcast. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.